So let's start with the basic of advanced C concepts. So that central ideas of ACC, importance of the chapters, then chapter objectives and outcomes, and course objective and outcomes. That course objectives and outcomes, that part we will discuss for the today's lectures. Okay, so let's start with the actual things. That advanced C concept, that name itself says that ACC is nothing but the well developed or modern concepts which is not there in the C programming language, which is not there in the C programming language. So let's start with the actual concepts of C programming language. That basic C. So for these subjects, for ACC, for this subject we have practical oral examination for 15 marks and term, that is ICA, for 25 marks. So there is 25 marks in college hand, and 15 marks will give for the external exams. And then next, let's start basic central ideas of the subject, then importance of the subject, title of the subjects, and course objectives and outcomes. So in these chapters, or in this subject syllabus in course, titles is itself is advanced C concepts. The title of the subject is course itself covers three different things. The first is advanced C concepts. The advanced is one word, C is another, and concept is another. So let's talk about the definition in the briefs. So advanced is modern or well developed, or a high, or at a higher or more difficult levels. And C is a programming language, as we know, that is procedure oriented programming language. It is a general purpose procedure computer programming language. Then concept is nothing but the principles, or we can say it is the ideas, something conceived in the mind, thought, notations. Concepts are defined as that it may be abstract ideas or general notions that occurs in the meaning. So that this is nothing but the title of the subject in course. So next is a central idea of subject in course. These topics itself covers various basic things. Okay, so the central ideas, importance, and subject syllabus we will give in PDF. Okay, or I will give the handwritten notes for the for these things. So the course objectives and outcomes we will discuss. That will introduce the storage classes and macros, apply recursion for different types of problems, student to use the files and pointer concepts, to study the different searching and sorting techniques, to study different hashing techniques. These are the objectives of subject in course. And outcomes, the often the student will be able to define and compare storage classes, develop the recursion solution for the given problem, apply the files, pointers, concept, binary searching and hashing techniques. Then implement a different algorithm like bubble sort, insertion sort, quick sort. These are the objectives of the subject. These are the outcomes of this course. Now let's start with the basic of ACCs. So what are the advantages and disadvantages of C? Okay, that for the ATT training we almost covers most of the things. Okay, but still we are going to repeat the same theme to these lectures. So advantages and disadvantages of C. C is one of the oldest language that cannot be replaced by any other language, as it is the core of every machine. So as we know, C is the mother of all the programming language like C plus plus, Java, .NET, HTML, and many more. Okay, so it is also called it as an oldest language, and that cannot be replaced by any other programming language. So it cannot be replaced with the other programming language in the 21st century, where language like Java, Python are gaining the market. You should not worry about how relevant the C programming language is. And if you are still not sure, proceed with some of the tutorials for the programming language. Okay, so for learning the concept of C programming language, we are using the books called as a Let Us See. Okay, so name of the author is Let Us. So name of the book is Let Us See, which is available in that libraries as well. And for ACC for ACC as well, we are using the books for the authors. So if you are still not, so let's start with the advantages and disadvantages of C. First of all, let us discuss what makes C language the mother of all the languages. As I already told that C programming language is the mother of all the programming language. There are the various benefits of C programming that depends on this positive point, which I can surely define the functionality of C in the better manner. So advantages of C programming language, so let's focus on it. First advantages is building block for many other programming language. C is considered to be the most fundamental language that need to be studied if you are beginning with any other programming language. So many of the programming languages such as Python, C++, Java, etc. are built with the base of C. Okay, so Python, C++, and Java, these are the base of C programming. For this language is a base. Okay, so we are building the blocks for the other programming language with the help of C programming language. So the next advantages is it is very powerful and efficient language. So its name itself say that C is a very powerful and efficient language. C is a robust language. Robust is nothing but the strong language, and in that it contains many data types and operators like integer, character, float, double, long, and operators, arithmetic, relationals, assignments. The operator to give the vast platform to perform all kinds of operations. Okay, so powerful and for the with this C is very powerful and efficient programming language. So next advantages for the C programming language, it is very portable. So portable, the name itself says that we can execute the program on any other machines. Okay, without making any change or just with using the few changes in your code. So portable language, yes, is a very flexible, as we can say that it is a machine independent. It cannot depend on the it is depend on the machines. Okay, that helps to run your codes on any machines without making any changes or just a few changes in the codes. So next is building function. There are 32 keywords which is available in the C, is having many building functions. So there are 32 keywords which is available in C programming language. These functions are helpful when building a program in C. Okay, so many more functions which is available in the C. From that 32 keywords which is there in the Let Us See book as well. Okay, the next is quality to extend the itself. Okay, C is a programming language which is used to extend her quality with the help of new concepts. Another crucial ability of C is to extend itself. We have already studied that the C language has its own set of functions in the C library, so it becomes easy to use this function. We can add our own function to a C standard library and make the code simple. So we can add our own code in it and make the function which is very simple. So next advantages of C is structure programming language. C is a structure based. It means that their complex or issues or complex problems are divided into the smaller block or function. This model structure helps in easier and simple testing and maintain this. So that is the complex problems. Complex problems were divided into the number of smaller blocks or functions. So these model functions helps in easier and simple testing and maintenance of your programs. The implementation of algorithms and data structures. So this is the use of algorithms and data structures in C has made program computation very fast and smooth. The C language can be used in many complex calculations and operations such as MATLAB. So in C programming language, C language is used for the algorithms and data structures for building the complex problems. So procedure oriented language or procedure programming language. C follows a proper procedure for its functions and subroutine as it uses procedure programming, so it becomes easier for C to identify the code structures and to solve any problems in a specific series of code. In procedure programming, C variables and functions are declared before they can use. The variables and functions which already declared before the variable function is to be used. Okay, dynamic memory allocation. C provides the dynamic memory allocation. That means you are free to allocate the memory at runtime. For example, if you don't know how much memory is required by object in your program, you can still run the program in C, assign the memory at the same time. Next advantages is system programming. C follows system-based programming system. It means the programming is done for the hardware devices. So with this we are aware of why C consider very powerful language and why it is important to the advantages of C. Okay, C follows the system based programming language. Programming is done for the hardware devices. Okay, so these are the advantages of C programming language. So let's start with the disadvantages of C programming language. You might be thinking about we are not approaching the language practically and studying the theoretical part in every tutorial in this, because if you will understand the basic functionality of the language and methods or operation of the programming, it becomes easy for you to know whether this language is suitable for your career or not. Okay, so disadvantages of C programming language. Concept of oops. C is a very vast language, so it does not support the concept of oops. So C is a very vast programming language. It means that it is very difficult programming language. There are some of the concept of object-oriented programming language which is not supported for the C, which are these are polymorphism, encapsulation, abstractions, and data hiding. C simply allows the procedure programming. The next disadvantages is runtime checking. In the C programming language, the errors or the bugs aren't detected after each line of codes. Okay, so in this programming language, what are the errors and bugs which are there? That errors or bugs and are not detected after every line of code. Instead of compiler allows the all the errors after writing the compile. It makes the checking the code very complex and large scale. Then concept of oops. So concept of namespace. So it does not implement the concept of namespace. Namespace is structured or chain of commands to allow the reuse of names in different contexts. Without namespace, we cannot declare two variables of the same names. So without namespace, we cannot declare the two variables for the same names. But C programming lacks in these features, and here you cannot define a variable with the same name in C. You cannot define the variable for the same name. Lack of exception handling is one of the most important features of programming language. While compiling the code, various anomalies and bugs are occurred. Exception handling allow you to catch the errors and take the appropriate responses. However, C does not exhibit these important features. So exception handling, runtime errors we are not handling in the C programming language. Constructor or destructor. C does not have any constructors or destructor. Function constructor destructors basically support for the object-oriented programming. Okay, so constructor is nothing but the same function and different declaration of argument release. Destructor is used to destroy the memories. Both are the member function that are created as soon as object of the class is created. You will be studying constructor and destructors in details for the object programming language. Low level abstraction. C is a small and core machine language that has minimum data headings and exclusively visibility that affects the security of this language. Security of this language. So these are the disadvantages of C. The next is applications of C, where the C programming language is used. Mainly C language is used for develop the desktop applications and system software. Some applications of C language are given below. The first C programming language can be used to design the system software like operating systems and compilers. It is used to design the software like operate OS and the compilers. It is used to develop the application software like database and spreadsheet. For develop the GUI application like computers and mobile games to develop any kind of mathematical equation using. C program language can be also used to design the compilers. C program language Unix kernel is completely developed in C programming language. For creating the compiler different language which can take the input from other language and convert it into level of machine dependent language. C program language can be used to design the computer systems. C program language can be used to design the network devices. To design GUI application, Adobe, Photoshop, one of the most used for detail like folder we are created with the help of C programming language.